So let me tell you about a part of American culture that my students really have trouble understanding: politics. Now stay with me here. This is important. Hear me out. Americans are very proud of their political system, but they also love to complain about it. And that might be one of the things that all Americans have in common: complaining about the government. But we value free speech. We value the ability to be positive or negative about our current political system, right? So even if you don't like politics, you have a really good chance that you'll be talking to an American that has an opinion about politics and maybe wants to share it with you. So this video will help you understand political conversations in English, but also help you enter the conversation and maybe offer some of your own opinions. Now let's take a topic that's easy to discuss: education. Now, in the United States, every child gets a free education from kindergarten to 12th grade, and that's 13 years of free education. And some people say, hey, if we're gonna pay for 13 years, we should pay for college too, right? It's just 4 more years and it will help people get jobs. But other people really disagree with this idea. So this is a real current debate in American politics right now. And for many people, whether they're in their 20s or 30s or 40s and 50s, they have opinions about this because it changes their life personally. And if a native speaker brings this up, you don't want to just sit here like, maybe you want to join the conversation. So one thing you could talk about would be the cost. It would be really expensive to pay for college for all Americans, right? So some people would describe this as a slippery slope. And that means if I take this one step, then it's easier for me to take the next step and the next step and the next step. That leads to this kind of negative conclusion, meaning if we pay for community college, which is cheaper, then in the future, we're going to end up paying for Yale and Harvard, and the government is going to run out of money. See? The slippery slope argument. And it always leads to some negative conclusion. In a nutshell, I'm saying we shouldn't pay for college at all. So our next idiom, in a nutshell, means that I'm going to take everything that I just said and I'm going to summarize it in like 10 words. It means in summary or altogether, in a nutshell. Some other people would say that the cost for paying for college is just over the top. It's ridiculous. It's too much, excessive, extravagant. You've gone too far. That's over the top. So you would say, don't you think it's a little over the top for the government to pay for everybody's college education? And then you would say, well, it's not over the top for the government to pay for 13 years of education. Can't we just add 4 more? Aha! Now we're discussing things. Now we sound like Americans. Another question you might have about free college is that people don't value things that are free as much as things they pay for, right? So we should think twice about it. People say think twice when they want someone to be cautious. It's like a warning. You should think twice about quitting your job. So it's when we want to express caution. So you should think twice about the government making college free. So now we come to an idiom that is used in many situations: to turn a corner. So your friend says, how are we going to turn a corner on poverty in the United States if we don't give people education? Wow, big question. Now let's try to understand it. First, what is poverty? Poverty is when you don't have enough money to pay for your house or your food. So your friend is saying, if we want to fix the issue of poverty, we need to give people education, or we need to turn a corner, right? So to turn a corner means to come from a bad situation, but now we're improving. We're making things better. So an economy can turn the corner. A person can turn the corner if they're sick and now they're getting better. But it means that some very difficult situation has become better or easier, or just overall now it's good. Now, I want you to turn a corner in your speaking ability. I'm not saying that you're bad at speaking, but everybody has room to improve. It's really easy to feel stuck when you're learning a language, and that's why I made this playlist, to help you improve your vocabulary. And that's also why I'm putting a link in the description below with the workbook that goes with this entire playlist called 30 Days to Better Spoken English.